Another great one that's going to actually help clean up some of the leftover food and things on the bottom are going to be Welcome to the Tye-Dyed Iguana. I'm Eric, and spring is right here. Actually, the day we're filming this is the start of spring. And so we've done some videos on kind of a nice spring cleanup crew for your terrariums. We're going to show you some nice spring cleanup crews for your aquarium as well. First off, we're going to start out with some guys that will clean some of that algae in your aquarium. So the first thing I have on this list is going to be nearite snails, actually any snails. Most of your snails are going to be great. Nearites do a pretty decent job cleaning algae, cleaning some stuff off the bottom of the tank. They also kind of get into that gravel, clean a little bit in there and kind of stir that up for you. One of my personal favorites, however, is going to be the rabbit snail. I don't know why, I just love rabbit snails a lot. The rabbit snails do an amazing job cleaning algae. Actually, the tank we keep them here in the store, there isn't any algae. They just do such an amazing job. We do also have Japanese trapdoor snails. We have ram's horn snails, although those can be a little bit more invasive. Speaking of invasive, have Malaysian trumpet snails. The Malaysian trumpet snails turn up the gravel bed really easily and really well. They kind of keep everything down in there taken care of and cleaned up. Besides that, we do also have the mystery snails. Mystery snails are another great go-to. They definitely help clean the tank. And then occasionally we get some other snails in as well. Another option for cleaning up some algae are going to be the shrimp. Now, a lot of people like to use a mono shrimp or algae-eating shrimp. They do a great job getting into that algae, kind of picking it, cleaning it. Same with most of the Neocardinia species. Your cherry shrimp, the blue dreams, things along that nature. And they do a great job kind of cleaning everything up and eating any of that algae that might be left over. So there are also quite a few fish that do great at cleaning up the algae in your tank. The bristlenose are probably one of the most common in the way of a small pleco that's going to be able to do that. We usually keep in the standard bristlenose, some albinos, long fins, both albino and the standard. And I even have some green spots in right now. And we just had in a bunch of beautiful starlights as well. So those are all going to be some great options to be able to clean up some algae. You could go with a lot of the other species of plecos. Some do better, some do worse, some get massive, some stay small. It just kind of depends on your tank size and what you're really looking for. If you have a lot of hair algae in your tank, another great option is going to be a Siamese algae eater. They do an amazing job eating a lot of the hair algae in the tank. One of the best ones in my opinion, honestly, other than going with maybe something like a Florida flagfish, which also does a lot, which is also Heather's favorite fish, if you guys didn't know, because I say that a lot. But the Florida flagfish actually are really cool looking. They can be kind of aggressive though, but both of those are going to do a great job at cleaning hair algae. One of the next ones is the Hillstream loach. Now those guys tend to kind of suck to the glass. I think they look like little stingrays, but another great addition to add in. They just kind of add a new element that you don't see in most fish stores, and they're going to be something that's a little bit more unique. Some other great ones for cleaning algae that a lot of people don't actually think about is going to be things like mollies and platies. Now, a lot of people actually use mollies to clean up like cyanobacteria, some of the different films and glass on their tanks. Same with platies. They're going to do a pretty good job cleaning up. They like to scavenge, kind of clean some things. Obviously, if you overfeed them a lot of your flake food or pellet, they're going to more go to that, whatever's easiest. But otherwise, they do a great job kind of just helping to clean out the tank overall. Next in the way of cleaning, we're going to kind of go over snail control. Now, while snails are great at eating a lot of the algae, sometimes they become a little abundant. They might clog filter intakes, things like that, lock up in your impeller. So you might need to kind of control some of the snails in there. Now, one of our first go-tos that we actually have here in the store is the assassin snail. And just as the name applies, they like to kill stuff, especially other snails. So putting those in, especially if you have an abundance of like pond snails, ram's horns, even the Malaysian trumpets, they're going to do a really good job attacking those and kind of killing those guys off. The next one that is probably your most common and most known for doing this is going to be the clown loach. Clown loaches are really awesome. Now, you do definitely need to have a bigger tank. They do a little bit better in some semi-aggressive tanks, and they do like to be in schools. A lot of people will buy them singly, and that's just not the way to go about that. They like to be in groups for sure, and they can also get fairly big, so just keep that in mind. Now, two that are a lot less common are going to be your Raphael catfish. Both the striped and the spotted Raphaels are known to eat kind of some of your small snails, so they're going to definitely keep that in check, especially in some of your community tanks. They're gonna just kind of munch on those little guys. They eat different crustaceans and stuff. So they do a really great job at cleaning up the snail population in your tank, something that you just wouldn't really expect out of them. Then in the way of some of like the botillas and loaches, along with that clown, the striata botillas, along with the yo-yo loaches will both also do a pretty decent job at keeping those snails at bay. So if you are having that problem, maybe also check into those. For the last part of the spring cleaning, a lot of people call these detritivores, which detritus is just kind of the leftover waste kind of at the bottom, whether it be leftover food, fish waste, things like that. So really any of your catfish work. Some people might look into the Raphael catfish. Most common though that we carry is gonna be the Corydoria cats. They're gonna kind of clean up any leftover food on the bottom. They're gonna, pick at some of that waste a little bit, although not a whole lot like to eat fish poop. But Corydorias do a great job at cleaning up on the bottom. Another great option is going with different snails, whether it be like mystery snails, nearite snails, the Malaysian trumpets, ram horns. All of those guys are going to clean up a lot of that excess food that's going to be sitting at the bottom, and even clean some of the excess waste that's down there. Shrimp are also a great option. They're going to clean up any of that leftover food. They're going to pick on some of the different food items that might be in the bottom, maybe some fish waste, things like that, and just overall kind of keep the tank a little bit cleaner. Another great one that's going to actually help clean up some of the leftover food and things on the bottom are going to be coolie loaches. I do like to go with a few of those guys in the tank just to have kind of a mix of them. Now we do have standard coolies. We also have the black coolies in stock that just kind of clean up any leftover food, any leftover waste, and really dead plant material, anything like that on the bottom of the tank. The last one that people really don't think about is going to be things like some of our sharks, like the red tail sharks and rainbow sharks. Those guys do kind of scavenge on the bottom. They look for a lot of different foods that may be hanging around at the bottom and just kind of keep the tank overall clean. All right, guys, those are going to be some great options as a cleanup crew for your tank. So come on in, check them out. If you guys have any questions, just let us know.